Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. B from Cajun Country. Glad you made it back. Glad to know that you're there. This is the first day of the rest of your life. I hope you're making it a good one. Remember, you only have 3 days. Yesterday is gone forever. Tomorrow is promised to no one. Today, living right squarely in the moment, is where we want to be. This is where we want to reside. Google. Hey Google. What is the temperature in Thibodaux, Louisiana?
The current temperature in Thibodaux is 91 degrees. Due to the current humidity, it feels like it's 98.
It does feel like it's 98. I was out there earlier flying a drone and the skies were cloudless. It was about 94 at that time, ambient temperature, and it was sizzling. Hey Google, what's the temperature in Sydney, Australia?
The temperature in Sydney right now is 54 degrees.
With a high of 58. Nice weather. Gotta go a long way to get there though. Hey Google, what is the temperature in New Orleans?
The current temperature in New Orleans is 89 degrees. Due to the current humidity, it feels like it's 96.
Here in South Louisiana, we have to contend with humidity a lot. Right on the Gulf, and humidity just bubbles up every evening during the day, and the clouds just come out of nowhere. The sky's always full of white clouds. Hey Google, tell us a joke.
Why can't you trust an atom? Because they make up literally everything.
My science joke. I appreciate that. Not very funny, but I appreciate it. Today I want to talk just a little bit about flattery. By the way, these conversations are totally uncut. They're totally not gussied up with all kinds of fancy editing. I'm just not interested in doing that. Just the raw and varnished words that we're going to share, and that's it. Again, not for everybody's taste. Some people like the glitz and glamour. I don't. I'm not going to do that. I have full-time job, and also as a high school administrator, and also a few other jobs that I do, and so I just don't have a lot of time to sit down and edit. So that's just a disclaimer up front. I want to talk just a little bit today about flattery and its role in the people, your acquaintances. Flattery is insincere compliments for the most part. People flatter, and typically when they're ambitious people flatter because they're trying to manipulate a situation, trying to get inside of your thoughts or in your favor, and they will say something to make you feel, good about yourself, or to give you the perception that what they are seeing in you is something admirable. And at best, flattery is exaggeration, and at worst, it's just a flat, bold-faced lie. And so, those who flatter, typically, I don't give too much credibility to their words, because if you can be manipulative with just senseless, needlessly, then there's no telling what you would do if you really had to. And the thing that I have great displeasure in is lying. There's just no reason for it, although we do it enough, even white lies, as some people say, or just half truths. I just have a distaste for it, and now I've not always been that way, but that's why I hate it so much now, because I used to do it myself, and it's just not a way to have relationships or to live. Now, another thing, as a young boy, a younger man even, I had quite a few uncles, and was around older men a lot, and as a result, I developed an appreciation for the way they communicate, and their communication style is very different from younger people because they just don't have a lot of time to BS you. They're on, they realize they have much more life behind them than ahead of them, and they get to the unvarnished truth pretty quick. And so, old men are a fountain of wisdom because, they're not trying to surround their words with flowers and diamonds and or jewelry. They just want to give you the truth and let it stand on its own merit. Old men are, when it comes down to BS, old men are minimalists. You're not going to get a lot from them unless they, just obviously, being jocular about, some team or some fishing story or something. But for the most part, these men are just honest and straightforward. And if you listen to them close enough, you can pull a lot of jewels from their words. And if you're wise, you can turn those jewels into experiences that you can avoid. And that has great wisdom. It's a rare 60-year-old who doesn't have something meaningful to say to a younger generation. And it's quite sad, actually, when someone 60, 70, or 80 years old, 50 even, sounds silly or goofy or immature. That's a very sad situation to behold. I was in a barbershop not too long ago, and I saw this old man talking about this young girl, and she had to be, he had to be 60, and the person who he was talking about was in their 20s, I think, early, maybe mid-20s, and he was talking as if, she was genuinely interested in him in some fundamental way, and he was not that well kept. He was slow and not at all, would attract a younger woman for sure. And so you just look at that and you say, man, to be 60 and to be self-deluded is the height of tragedy. And so, for as you listen in on the conversations of older people, and I consider myself there, for sure, so to speak, and because I've seen a few things in the many decades of living that I've done. So take a moment and reflect on what they're saying with some genuine curiosity, because typically you can learn something, and typically those lessons can save you from significant heartache or significant financial foolishness. Just take a moment and listen, and I think you'll be surprised at the genuine jewels, the nuggets of gold that fall from their lips. All right, so going forward, I live in a little country town. I want to also take a moment and do some tours of some small towns locally. I think you'll enjoy the slow pace of that. Also, we're going to give you some topics and some things that I'm interested in. I'm the kind of guy who shines his own shoes, shaves with a straight razor, takes the time to, brew coffee rather than instant, and just slow things down. And you'll be surprised at what's slowing down just a little bit, how it can add quality to your life. We'll talk more about that as we go forward. Remember, live in the moment, drink lots of water, and enjoy the rest of your evening.